you are. I couldn't hear you with all that jazz music playing. My name is Miss Melissa, and we are going to do a fun art project today. You may be thinking, well, why jazz music in the background? Well, jazz music came about during a time period called the Harlem Renaissance. It was a time when many African American artists, just like this guy, Jacob Lawrence, they changed society for the better with their music, with their poetry, their performances and dances, and even their artwork. He was a painter who loved creating pictures of people in his community. And you could even see here, these people are playing musical instruments. I bet you they were playing jazz music. Are you ready to make some musical instruments with me, just like Jacob Lawrence did? Well, great. Let's go ahead and get our supplies ready. You are going to need one pencil, your box of markers, and 4 sheets of construction paper, some very bright colors, and even some light colors too. You can choose any color you want, just no black. All right, so go ahead and choose your paper so we can get started. The music that you were just listening to was jazz music, and this guy right here was actually playing his trumpet. As you can see, he's holding this instrument. Okay, this is a trumpet. It's a brass instrument. His name is Louis Armstrong. He was a very famous jazz musician. We're going to hear some more of his music today while we're creating your artwork. But I'd like to show you a really up-close picture of who Jacob Lawrence is. He was actually born in the early 1900s, and he died about 20 years ago in the year of 2000. He was an African American Harlem Renaissance artist, and he liked painting people with lots of colors and shapes. You know, he was born in New Jersey, which is a state that is right next to Harlem, New York. And New York is another state. So New Jersey and New York are pretty much like neighbors. I want to show you some of his paintings up close where you could actually see all of the musical instruments and his colors and shapes. Here is one that I had hanging up on the wall. You can see these people playing here. What do you notice here? What kind of instruments are being played here? A drum, right? Now here you have a guitar. Guitars were played in jazz music, just not as much as the trumpets and the saxophones and the piano. Notice all the bright colors too. And there's also, with all of his paintings, I notice if there's a bright color, you're always going to see a dark color like black. Let's see if we can find some of the same colors or instruments in his next painting. Here you see more people playing. I see a couple of saxophones. There's another trumpet, the piano, some more guitars. The only instrument I don't see is a clarinet. A lot of times clarinets were used to play jazz music. Here's a picture zoomed in on 3 people playing instruments. Notice all the bright colors. What colors stand out to you? I see a lot of blue, dark, and light, the pink, the orange. Do you notice any black at all? Yeah, remember I told you wherever he used bright colors, he used black. We're going to do the same thing today. Since we're going to be drawing jazz instruments, I thought I would show you some of the lines and shapes that we will need. If you've been working with me before, you'll recognize this line. That is a straight line. A lot of times we see straight lines in groups by themselves. They can go what? Side to side, up and down, and even diagonal. We also see a line, which is the complete opposite of straight, called a curvy. Curvy lines can look like smiles. They could also look like frowns, right? If you put lots of them together, you could even make a rainbow. We're also going to be using these basic shapes today. You are going to be drawing lots of long, big rectangles. You're going to draw some smaller rectangles, even a couple of triangles, some small circles, a large oval, and you might even draw a medium-sized rectangle and maybe even a square. Hey boys and girls, so first thing you want to do is get your paper. I want you to put one aside. This is going to be your background paper. We're not going to do anything to this yet. We're just going to hold on to this for part 2. Now that should give you 3 other sheets of paper because I asked you to get 4. Okay, so now you need to get the 3 sheets of paper. We're going to fold this. So just copy off of me, stack them up, and I want you to fold them all together like a book. The corners and the sides will touch. Make a big crease like that. Okay? Then we're going to open it back up, all 3 at the same time. And we're going to fold it into, we're going to fold it the other way and make it into a hot dog shape. Make sure the corners and the sides touch, and then you press. Now if we open it up, because we folded it both ways, you're going to see, you know, like a plus sign, right? Or a cross. And that gives us 4 rectangles. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very good. So now what I'm going to need you to do, because we're going to work inside some space today, these rectangular spaces. What I want you to do is take your pencil. I'm using a marker so you can see, but I want you to use a pencil. Okay. So you're going to draw one straight line going up and down. And we're going to do that for each one. So you're going to go to your next paper and you're going to draw another straight line over that crease. Okay? And then we're going to go to the next paper. And I hope you chose some nice bright colors. All right, now that you did that, what I'm going to want you to do is write your name on all 3 sheets that you folded and drew a line, and I also want you to write your name on your background paper. So on the back, please write your name in a pencil. I'm going to put my name, which is Miss Melissa. Okay. You're going to put your name on the back. So let's do that together because you're going to need these again because we're making part 1 today. And the next art video is going to be part 2. Make sure to write your name on the back of your background sheet as well. All right, So now we can start drawing. I'm going to show you how to draw all of these musical instruments. You can pick any color paper you want, but here's the rule. One half is going to be for the drawing, and the other half is going to be for a pattern that we're going to do later. Okay, so now pick one side that you like, and I want you to try to stay inside of the rectangle. Okay? All right, let's start with, how about a piano? Let's draw a piano together. You can pick whatever color paper you want. So inside of this rectangle, with your pencil, we're going to draw a rectangle, and I want you to draw some lines going up and down, and you're copying off of me. Okay? Now a piano has, if you're looking on top, these are going to be the piano keys. If you're looking on top of the piano, it makes like a big curve. So watch. You're going to put your pencil on one end and go really, really big, curve all the way around. Go about halfway and then make a little curve. Something like that is fine. Now a piano has these black keys. So I'm going to draw almost like a letter, a capital letter L on a couple of these keys. Basically it's going to make like, you know, we're making some little rectangles, and we'll color those in later. Okay, so the piano had a big rectangle, some little rectangles, and two curves. I'm going to move on to another musical instrument. How about we make a trumpet? Remember, draw on one side, leave the other alone, and try to stay inside of this rectangle. So first thing I want you to do is draw a rectangle about this size, and on the end we're going to draw a big triangle like that. And then we're going to draw a little triangle going that way. This is the where you blow, well, this is actually where you put your mouth on and blow, and that's the horn of the trumpet. So we have a rectangle, a big triangle, and a little triangle, right? We can make a little oval. And you could always use your eraser if you need to, but you know, you don't really need to use it because you could always, we're going to cut it out anyway. All right, so now, watch. You're going to draw a big curve underneath. I'm going to draw one more. That's going to be the handle that you hold on to blow out of. I don't know if you've ever played the trumpet before, but this is the mouthpiece, and you hold on to it while you blow. Okay, now we're going to need to draw some rectangles. Basically, the keys of the trumpet are up here, so when you press, it presses them down. And it's really connected, but we're going to draw, watch, 1, 2, 3 rectangles on top, and then we're going to draw 3 more on the bottom. These are the keys of the trumpet. Just some little rectangles going up and down. 3 on top, 3 on the bottom, and then we can draw some circles or ovals, and there we have a trumpet. Pretty cool, huh? I'll go over it with you again. A big rectangle, a big triangle, and look, I could have made it come out here. It's fine. A small triangle going in the opposite direction, 2 curves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 small rectangles, and 3 circles. I'm moving on to another instrument. Now, pianos that we drew and trumpets are very popular jazz instruments. And you're going to get to hear the trumpet today because Louis Armstrong is going to play some more music for us on his trumpet. We might even hear some piano in the background as well. But there are other popular instruments like drums, saxophones, clarinets. I used to play the clarinet when I was in junior high. Let's draw the clarinet together. That is a very jazzy instrument. Okay, it's very similar to the trumpet, but it's a lot easier. So watch. What I want you to do is make an oval all the way on one side of your paper. Remember to draw inside the rectangle. Then you're going to make a long, thin rectangle. You're copying off of me. And then you're going to make a big triangle at the end. And you could draw a small oval. This is the mouthpiece that you blow into, and that's the horn that it comes out of. Clarinets have a lot of keys, but some parts are in sections. So we're going to draw 1, 2, 3 lines. 1, 2, 3 lines with some circles, as many as you can fit. And this is a basic picture of a clarinet. It's a woodwind instrument because there's a little wooden chip that you blow into. All right, so now that we drew all of our instruments, what I would like you to do is color with your black marker or a brown or a purple or a blue, a dark color. Please get a dark color marker, and we're going to trace all of these instruments very dark with our black marker. I will show you one example. Because remember, in Jacob Lawrence's pictures, he used a lot of bright colors, and right next to those bright colors, he had some very dark colors too. So we're going to trace with dark colors. Just one though, I'm using black. And so if you go back to the piano, remember those little extra rectangles that we drew? You could actually color those in. If you would like to color in your keys, you can. But we want to leave most of our drawing very colorful. We're just outlining it. So basically, I'm drawing one more line right next to where I did before. And that way I have 2 lines, which makes it very thick. So what I thought we could do together is just trace our 1, 2, 3 instruments in a black or dark marker so they stand out. You see the difference from this line to that line? So I hope you enjoy the jazz music that I'm going to play for you while you're outlining your drawing in a black or dark marker. And I'll go ahead and do it with you. Let's see what Louis Armstrong is going to play for us. Remember just to draw an extra line next to your outline and color it in. You're just making it thicker. You can color inside of your keys, boys and girls, if you want to take a look. See? Just the circles. Yep, my clarinet looks done. And my name's on the back. I'm going to draw an oval on the end of my trumpet. There we go.
We will sing one song of our old Kentucky home. In summer, the folks, they all gay. By hard times will not at the door. My old Kentucky home far away. Yes, we.
So boys and girls, you have a few more minutes. So you just want to outline and just make your instruments have a dark border, a dark line, a dark boundary, however you want to say it. The only thing I'm really coloring in are the keys. That's the only thing I colored in on the clarinet. Let me show you. I colored in the keys on the clarinet, the circles. And in the piano, I just colored in the small ones. Oh, looks like it went through, but that's okay. So yeah, I colored in the black keys on the piano, and I colored in the circles on the clarinet. I hope you enjoy drawing the instruments. I hope you didn't think it was too hard. It's really not that hard whenever you look at lines and shapes, right? All right, so I would give you about another minute, and we are going to stop for the day. I'm just going to make a heart because my paper went through. I'll just have a heart design on my piano. There we go. All right, so I'm almost done. Remember, boys and girls, your name needs to go on the back of all of your artwork. We're going to stack them up. You can put it in your desk or your folder. I need you to hold on to all of your papers so we can do some really cool things with patterns in part 2. So you should have your trumpet, your piano, and your clarinet all traced with your background paper. If you did not finish it, you could always finish it another time. We're going to go ahead and stop for today. And I can't wait to see you again. Well, thank you for joining me today. We learned about so many things. Do you remember the kind of music that we heard today? It's actually playing very low right now in the background. You are correct. Jazz music. Can you remember the types of instruments that jazz musicians play on? If you were thinking trumpet, piano, and even the clarinet, very good. Those are some of the instruments that are played in jazz bands. Do you remember how we created these musical instruments? What did we do to make these instruments? We made them out of paper and we drew lots of lines and many shapes. Mostly just by making shapes, we were able to create these. Louis Armstrong was the famous jazz musician who played the trumpet. Do you remember the name of the famous visual artist? I'll give you a hint. Who painted people playing music in their community? Jacob Lawrence. Very good. Well, both of these African American artists grew up during the Harlem Renaissance, where their art made people very happy. As you go through the rest of your week, I hope maybe you'll get a chance to listen to some jazz music. Maybe you'll be able to hear those trumpets and even pianos or the drums, the clarinet. Maybe you might even hear a saxophone or a guitar or a different type of instrument. Also, you could even practice drawing more instruments by using shapes. Well, I hope that you have a great day, and I will see you soon for part 2.